Time and attendance tracking. When you come in here, if you're an admin, of course, you'll need to select the center you're working with. From here, you'll be able to launch your sign in and out program, manage your child timesheets, and also keep track of any attendance reports. The starting point for any day should be launching the sign in and out program. This can be launched on a computer, so maybe a kiosk station at the front of your center, or it can be launched on any type of tablet, such as an iPad. The icon up top will, of course, be your logo instead of OnCare's, and the date and the time will be reflected from the computer or device. The ID code. Both family and staff can sign in and out using the same time clock. If I'm a family, I would simply come in, sign in, and I'm done. Now the system's ready for the next family. The next family would enter their ID code, and maybe they're just checking Allie out. There's no limit to how many times you can sign in or out. Likewise, a staff member would also have an ID code. They can come in, they can either sign out for the day, or maybe they're a teacher that's floating between classrooms and you're choosing to track their movement. And in that case, they could change classrooms. Once your time clock is running, you then can use the other features within the time and attendance module. Child time card. Here you can view any of the time cards for the children. You can select the date range that you want to view. Here you can see on Monday the child checked in at 8:44, but there's no checkout time. So maybe you need to modify that time card. And you can come in here and put in whatever time it was that the child should have been reflected as checking out. You can also create brand new time cards in the event that they forgot to sign in at all. Of course, you can also print those timesheets as needed. Other types of reports in the system. ID code by authorized person. This is a report as you're first getting started that you may want to use. You can, of course, sort through the filters. What this report will do is it'll show you every person, every family in your system that has an ID code. This is a great report to print out and have on hand as you're teaching your families their personal ID codes. In addition, you can pull out child ID codes. You can also see what children are currently checked in to the center, and of course sort it by any filters that you want. A center attendance summary report will show you historically anyone for the current week or any time period you want that was checked in and out, and by whom checked them in and out. Failure to sign out. The failure to sign out report will show any children that had failed to sign out. The system will not prevent the family from allowing them to sign back in the next day, but just as we saw in the earlier example of the timesheet, it will leave their timeout blank until it's modified. Here, you can see all of these children. In this case of the demo, I had signed them in and never signed them out for the day. So they appear on the failed sign out. Other types of reports that can be done. You can also see who signed in before a certain period of time. So maybe children that come in before 9 a.m. receive extra charges for some reason. You can pull a report that way. Or likewise, maybe children that sign out after a certain time may also receive charges. So you could come in here and maybe you want to see anyone that signed out after 6:01 p.m. By hitting submit, that'll pull up a report for just those families and children the sign out after the time period selected. And the final report, classroom and staff signed in by children and staff signed in by classroom. This will show you both the children and the staff in one report together of who's signed in and out. So for example, if we were to select the Chickadees classroom and open up this report, you'll see here that these are the children. Here's who checked them in, the time they were checked in, and then you'll also see what staff is in the center, their time, and when they check out, their time out. In addition to the features that we've looked at from the main menu section, you can also go into functions for a few other features. E-message families. This will allow you to create a message to either all of your center or individual families. And when they go to sign in on the time clock or out, they will see this message. Hit continue, and it will allow that message to populate for them. In addition, you can group sign in and out children. Let's say you went on a field trip and a teacher is signing out one classroom. They could select that classroom, select those children, and hit submit and sign them out. Likewise, they could be signed back in for the day as well. You can also do it by bus run instead of by classroom. And that's the basic features within the time and attendance tracking system.